Hey friends, Alvin here. We are continuing on with our interview series, and today I am pleased that I have Curtis Sheen joining us from Little Bethel Community Church. He is the youth coordinator at Little Bethel, as well as now I just found out he's a chair of the Deacons Board. And so welcome, Curtis.
Hey, thank you, Elvin. Nice to see you guys again.
And so as we've been doing these interview series, the very first question I've been asking everyone is this. So since March break, what changes have you noticed in your youth so far?
We've noticed a lot of changes. I think one of the biggest changes is probably that the kids, they're used to being able to socialize a lot and to just do what they want out in the streets, and that's changed big time now. And I think just not being able to physically be around people is a big change for them. I know it's a big change for me too. I think it's probably one of the bigger things. Just that is gone now. And I know because our group is a community-based group, and this year especially, they're a lot younger actually. We've had a lot of younger kids that have been like, okay, you're not the age group, but we'll let you in. So and I can imagine the change for them because they're not on social media as much. They don't have phones, so they're just stuck in home with their families and their older siblings, and so that's probably definitely a big change. And I know one of our kids who is he's high function autistic, and I know that's got to be a crazy experience for him because your routine's very important, and now routine is completely different. So I definitely I know that's a big change. Just the way that their whole lives are different now, and their scheduling is different.
And so you were mentioning that you've got a lot of younger kids in your group, and so as you were saying, not many of them have devices, and technically, I guess a bunch of them shouldn't be on social media. So what does that connection look like now?
That has actually been one of the harder things for us because, especially because they're new to the group, so it's not like we've established much with their families, like their parents. We have great relationship with the kids, but not with their parents. So connecting with them has been very difficult. All I've been able to really do is just kind of I have their parents on Facebook for some of them, and some of them I have their older siblings. So I'm just kind of praying and hoping that their siblings or their parents would be like, hey, check out the video that Curtis put out. Luckily, I know some parents have. There's been a couple of parents. They were telling me I've run into them, driving by. That's what I usually do if I'm driving in from home from work. I'll make pit stops around the neighborhood. I check out the church, make sure everything's good here, and then I'll intentionally roll down one street and see if they're out. And I've talked to the parents and the kids while they're outside, and the parents tell me, "Oh yeah, we and the kids we get together and we try to watch whatever you put out." So I know for some of the kids it works out that way, but I know some of them it kind of sucks. I don't know what's happening at all. I have no clue. Their older sibling likes the videos and stuff, but I don't know what's going on really much there.
And so you were mentioning how you've been able to kind of do these drive-by visits and stuff. Usually, what does that look like when you're doing one of these visits?
It's been different for different people. I won't lie, it's usually just one group of people I see the most because they live right around the corner from the church, but they live in an apartment building, so there's a couple of them, and they all, parents usually have having smokes out front. So if I see them, I'll roll down my window, and they usually tell me, hey, can you pull into the parking lot and talk to us from over there? So that means I'm staying for a little bit longer, but, I'll talk to them from across the street and just catch up with them and, get some laughs in and stuff like that with the family and just update what's going on for me. They tell me what's going on in their lives and stuff. And, we go from there. One specific kid that he's highly functioning autistic. That's the best way to say it, but him, I messaged his mom actually on my way home from work, and I said, "Hey, so do you mind if I grab a Whopper and come on over and give him a Whopper? Because we had a little thing before where we went and got Burger King on the way home from youth group. So I thought maybe that'd be a nice way to kind of see him again and connect with him again. So his mom's like, yeah, come on over. And like, yeah, he'll be outside waiting for you. I'm not home, but, he'll be there. And as soon as I pulled up, he saw the car. He pulled up with the skateboard or whatever. He's like, hey. So, we did that. But it was strange because for him, once again, because he's not used to us not being able to do what we want to do. And he asked me, he's like, oh, can you come out and play? I'm like, I can't, buddy. I'm sorry. I wanna, but I can't. So instead, we alternated it. He's like, well, can you rev up your engine? I'm like, yeah, I can do that for you. He's like, can you speed away? I'm like, I can speed away fast. So you take it with what you can do to entertain them, I guess.
So now you've not only are the youth leader and the head deacon, you're also an Uber Eats driver now, eh?
Yeah.
And so as you've been adjusting with this last few weeks, what have you noticed change in your role as youth coordinator?
Oh, I don't know how much has changed. I feel like some of it's the same. The idea that coordinating things, and making sure things are still kind of happening and going. Um, but the biggest changes, I guess, is just you're not prepping as many of the other little things as I would have to do. I don't have to get here at any certain time, so time management is a lot better. Doesn't matter when I do my videos. I tell people it's Wednesday, but it's never Wednesday when I have to shoot the videos ever. That's a lie. Sorry. But no, it's nice that way though. I have a whole week to kind of get ready for it. And but that's one of the big changes, I guess, in my role is that I don't have to sit back and say, okay, how is the night going to look? What's the timing going to look like for the night? I don't have to worry about, okay, what if this person doesn't show up on time? I don't have to do any of that stuff. There's still some paperwork stuff that I should be doing. I haven't started that yet. I've been meaning to get to that. But yeah, I think another role is to make sure that the group is connected, which I won't lie, that's been something I've been lacking of. I've talked to different leaders, but it's been more of a personal conversation. We haven't actually sat down and had a Zoom meeting. As I was telling you earlier that I haven't really been doing Zoom meetings. I'm very new to this, and I've had like 2 now, I think. So once with the pastor and now with you, and making me think, okay, maybe I should do one of these with the youth team and just see where everybody's at and what ideas other people have. That's kind of my problem because I'm one of those people that just kind of I'll take hold of the horns and I'll go for it. But I won't look around and be like, hey, does anybody else want to help me? I'll just kind of do it on my own. And I've been watching your interviews and I'm like, oh, everybody else is kind of mentioning, my team's doing this and that. And I'm like, oh, I haven't talked to them at all about this. I've just kind of gone for it. So that's something that I think needs to change. I need to put that more in my role, that I make sure that the team is staying connected as well.
So I have had a chance to look at a couple of your videos. So how do you get these ideas? Where do they come from?
Yeah, my videos come from my crazy head that I've been blessed with by God. You know what? In the beginning, it was I thought, okay, I really want to show the kids the church. I really want to show the kids kind of what our group. And this is the building is very important, I think, to the kids. It's where they meet. It brings the community together with the kids. So I really wanted to show them kind of the building, and my first idea was simply just to show them that things are different, and that I'm at the church by myself doing what I typically would have done with the kids, but just by myself. And me being me, I got to add a little bit of sense of humor there. And yeah, the first one went well. I did the serious talk afterwards, and then going forward, I just thought, what else can I do? I had a couple ideas, and then I thought of these crazy ideas. As you see, they kind of escalate. They go from simple things to all of a sudden he's having a car wash. uh, so I just think of whatever crazy thing that might make the families laugh. That's kind of my goal, is just to kind of bring some laughter in the households. But also give them a little bit of, if I can, every once in a while, I try to throw in a serious one and just kind of let them know that it's a tough time, it's an important time, and that we're all in this together type thing. So I try to do that. As well as my videos have gone on with the lessons, at least in the beginning, like I said, they were more serious, but now I've kind of drifted to this a new approach, because I was finding out that people were skipping my youth or my lessons. They watched the funny part and skipped the lesson. A parent was telling me that that's what they were doing. So I'm like, how do I get these kids and parents to pay attention? So I changed it from just a Bible lesson to what I call Bible adventures, which is basically I throw myself into the story. And I usually give an excuse for why you don't find me in the Bible, which is something silly, like, I made one of the other guys mad, so they decided to write me out of it. So I just kind of continuously tell that story. The one with Samuel, apparently I was whispering too, saying, Samuel, get Curtis some chocolate chip cookies or something, so he's mad at me, so that's why I'm not in the stories. So I just make stuff up for that. But, I just kind of try to make it more fun, slip in some jokes that way it's entertaining for them, because they are community kids, they're not really church kids. So it's just a way to kind of get them to hear God's message and want to listen to it. I think that's my goal now, is to really, how do I get them to watch the lessons too? So I figured, you know what, put a little bit of myself in there, which is generally why the kids are coming out to the program. They want to, they like the people that they're being surrounded with. So try to spice it up that way.
And so if people wanted to if people wanted to see some of those, where could they find them?
You can go to our Facebook group. I know that, which is Little Bethel. I think it's Little Bethel Youth Group, or Little Bethel Community Church Youth Group, something like that. We are I know this might sound crazy. We're no longer private. I've made it a public grouping. That way, people can easily access it, because we're a community area. So I want any of the kids to be able to be like, hey, look at these things on our Facebook group, that they can share it and people can check it out that way. As well, the easiest way, you can just, if you go on my Facebook, Curtis Sheen, I always upload my video usually the day after onto my Facebook. That way, anybody can see it off my post or whatever. And Instagram, which I've never been the biggest Instagram person. I have it for the youth group too, and I'm finding that that's the way to go. I know we've talked about before, I think even at the groups, that Instagram is where the kids are. They're not all on Facebook. A lot of them aren't. So I noticed that I was putting them on Instagram, and the kids are liking them more, and I'm seeing that more kids are interacting there than anywhere else. So that was a bit of a learning curve there, especially because they're shorter videos on Instagram. But I found out that if you have a certain length, you can still upload it on Instagram. So I was like, sweet.
So earlier in your introduction, we had mentioned that you're now also the chair of the Deacons Board. And so from that vantage point, because we haven't really had a chance to talk to many people from that side of things, how have you as a church leadership team been navigating the last few years?
It's been interesting. I know as things started off, I remember the first meeting we had about it, which was our last Sunday, when it was kind of picking up and churches were making that decision, do we stay open or not. We decided to go one more week at the time, just because we wanted to personally tell everybody this is what's happening. We had a meeting, and our pastors like, we're going to have to shut down everything, all the programs. And me being me, I'm like, do we have to? I know there's a virus going around, but I'm like, I don't care if there's a hurricane happening down the street. If a kid shows up to the door, we're going to open the door for them. So it was a tough decision, but obviously it had to be made, and there's no questions about it. Um, and then with other church related things, we've decided to obviously take advantage of social media and just communicate with each other. So the deacons board, we all have a list of people that we're supposed to call and just keep in touch with. Um, and also our pastor regularly, even if we all have a list of people, but she regularly checks in with everybody as much as she can. So it's just really just communicating with each other as much as we can, just to keep update. I know we're doing our Bible studies online on Zoom, which clearly tells you that I'm not doing those, because I told you that I've only done 2 Zooms. Just because of work, and you get home and you're tired, so I'm like, oh, maybe I'll do it another day. But it's been tough, I think, because I just think that it's such a you want that connection, you want to be together, and it's tough even for the Sunday services or Sunday mornings not to be fully together. But we're doing a good job with the videos. I know Pastor Deb gets different people to kind of send their videos. I've seen other churches do that too. So just kind of doing montage of it, you kind of get different people. You get your music people and other people saying stuff. So it's kind of been nice to see that. She's done a really good job with handling that. And everybody does it from their home, except for Easter. Easter, Pastor Deb, she came to church with her family, did a little nice thing in the church, which was cool. Um, and the church is kind of taking advantage because no one's here, so we can clean up the building. We've been able to install our windows have been able to get more completed from one of our church members. We did a deep cleaning of the kitchen. Which you sometimes see in my videos, that if you look closely, you see stuff sitting on tables and on benches in the basement. It's because they're doing a deep cleaning of the kitchen, so everything's down there now. So they kind of took my video space. I'm not complaining, but I'm a little upset. But yeah, so I the church has responded in different ways, just communicating that way.
As we're coming near to the end of our interview time here, what's a word of encouragement or word of wisdom that you want to offer to the people who are watching right now?
I think I got 2 things I would say, if you don't mind. First, you have to be yourself, I think, is what I've learned. You have to bring you to the table. Be the best you in everything you do, online, however you're doing this. Put yourself in there, because I think we all know it. When the kids come to our programs, they're coming to the program for one of the things that they attracts them is the fact that you're there. So being yourself is important. That's why you see me in the videos. I'm being crazy, but that's what the kids are used to seeing. And it's a responsibility to make sure that they see me and who I am and every work that I do. That kind of brings them close. And secondly, it's just trusting God, I think. And that's where that comes from, I think, because God put you in your place of work for a reason. He put you at your church for a reason. And you and your personality are why you're there, I think. And I think it's important to remember that and to trust in what God's got planned for you.
I think those are definitely some great reminders, and I think you've you've modeled it not just through your videos, but even just in our conversation here. So, Curtis, I appreciate your time, and thanks for spending some time with us, sharing what you've been learning.
Thank you. It was nice seeing you again. Nice talking to you. And stay safe and good luck with everything.